I mean, you've seen the title of this video. Is this gonna be unhinged? Yes. I'm pretty sure this is a one-time tooth thing, unless suddenly I start a teeth jewelry production line, but so you may be wondering, who is this for? Well, it's for my best friend. She started studying to be a dentist. Tell me a better gift. And also, of course, I want to make some for me too. I'm going to show the real teeth as little as possible. I just want to create with my teeth, not other people's teeth. No, no, no. So the plan. I'm gonna make molds out of my actual teeth, then use them to put in some polymer clay. I'm thinking let's make some necklaces and some earrings and maybe add some gems. I mean, the gems might look like sparkly cavities. Well, I don't know if there's much more to say. Let's bring out the teeth. They gave them to me in this little thing. You just pop it open. There it is. Let's begin. Okay. Here's what we're working with. I don't really want to show you very much of them because it's kind of gross. Let's start making some molds. I'm always terrible at judging how much I need. I always do way too much, but let's see. Okay, it's all mixed up and we've got to be quick. I only want to do half of each tooth and then I will do the other half when it has cured. Yeah, I did way too much. I want to make sure that I get that teeth detail at the top. That's like the most important bit. So now those have cured, let's do the same thing but on the other side. Oh, I forgot to create fancy registration marks, but that's fine. I might need to redo this. It's been a 50-50 success with me with these sorts of molds. Let's see how these turned out. Come out of your silicone tomb. That one really wanted to come out. Oh, this is testing my nails. Okay, so I've got my little tooth beans. I've heard that putting corn flour in the mold helps get them out of the mold easier. And here we want to preserve the sanctity of the teeth. I don't have corn flour though. I only just have normal flour. So I'm just gonna try it on 2 and see if it's any good. And then let's just squish it. Okay, I think I squished it too much. I now have a flat tooth, but it came out nicely. Okay, first one. That's all right. I think the way is I shouldn't keep them as these clams because it keeps squishing them when I pull them out. So I need to just fully open them. Okay, so mixed success. This mold, I can't get anything out of this one. I needed to proportion my molds better. I should have been more 50-50 and this is like 75-25. By the time that I get it out, I've warped it. I'm gonna have to redo that one and figure out which tooth that was. And this one didn't capture the bite of the tooth very well. And that's like the main bit. And these other two are all right. So I'm gonna now play Cinderella with these teeth because I totally should have made note of that. Let's give it another go. So while I just make a bunch of these teeth, let me tell you about how they ended up outside of my mouth. They're my wisdom teeth in the UK. It's not as common just like whip out your wisdom teeth. I had teeth that one of them, it refused to fully come out. They've been coming out for like 8 years and I got Invisalign and they said that I have a tiny dainty mouth that could not fit my giant wisdom teeth. I was so afraid of getting my teeth out, but the dental practice that I went to was amazing. It went really well. Immediately, my dentist, she could tell that I was really nervous and I was like wringing my hands and she gave me a stress ball. No one's offered me a stress ball before and that was really nice. And everyone was shocked at how quickly mine just popped right out. It was almost like they didn't want to be in my mouth anymore. I don't take offense to it because it was actually great for me. Maybe it was to do with when I had it done. I was already on Invisalign, that all my teeth are a bit like wobbling about. And so they just flew right out. Does that fill me with confidence about how in my other teeth are? Not really. But also, they're still in. I mean, I do have a lot of those dreams. You know the ones. Oh, I haven't had them in a long time, but I used to have them where the teeth fall out. Is this getting too horrible? It was after I'd had braces when I first went to uni. Because, you know, transitional phases. And I would have these dreams of like taking out the retainer and then all my teeth would just come with the retainer. I know, I'm sorry I gave you that image and I might not keep it in. Hello, so it's another day. Yesterday I finished up all of these and so today we're gonna be adding in the eyelet, and also thought maybe we just go to town and start adding gems. I'm gonna do half of them in gold and half of them in silver. I'm gonna select my favorite ones to be the earrings. I've got two different sizes. I've got a big size and then I've this smaller size. I've made some extras and I've got these two here. And because my teeth, they have that sort of one dagger shape, but why not split the root on these to make them look a bit more quintessential tooth? And I wanted to try with these two because I've got all of them facing up like that. But I thought maybe let's try doing some dangly earrings that way. I have a feeling it will be a bit weird, but let's see. I added different size gems to each tooth and just felt the vibe of the composition. I thought they'd look better on the silver ones because they blend in more and add a little bit of something. But I did add gems to one gold one just to see if I would like it. Now these are done, it's time to put them in the oven. I don't know how it happened, but one of them is missing. And it's one with the gems, and I've run out of the same size of gems. At least I labeled the molds, but we're gonna sort through those and find out which tooth is missing, because you gotta have a full set. I was so happy to be done with sculpting teeth. The cleanup phase is a whole process. And I keep thinking, did I actually make 4? And I have proof, but where did it go? I don't even know if it made it into the oven or not. It's just been vanished into the ether, wherever you are. I hope you're happy. Okay, we're back on track. I popped out each gem before painting them silver because they were kind of transparent and you could see the gray through them. So this way they would be more sparkly. But there was this one tiny gem I just couldn't get out, so I used Holo Taco to mask it off for the painting. Now it looks like they've got cavities. Ooh. They're primed and ready. It's spray paint time, but actually they weren't primed at all and I had to redo it. Run away! While we leave the silver spray paint to dry, let's work on the gold. I also have some gold leaf. I kind of want to experiment with seeing if I can use that instead of rub and buff, because I always find that rub and buff is never as gold as I want it to be. It looks like I've got to put on this gilding paste and then wait 15 minutes. Oh, I think that might be a paw print. This is my mum's old gold leaf. I should probably have some sort of hanging contraption. That would be sensible. Found a random scrap wire that I've hoarded from some form of packaging. And then I'll just leave it on this glass, apart from each other. Okay, it's time. It's been 15 minutes. I didn't expect for the gold leaf to be so floaty. Like, look how it glides. There we go. Find your new home. This was my first time using gold leaf and it went surprisingly well. I did get grey gaps. I tried as hard as I could to patch them up, but then it was just starting to displace other parts of the gold leaf. So I just decided that I would fill those gaps with rub and buff later on. There's gold everywhere. It was very shiny, which I liked, but it was kind of wrinkly. And I managed to get some of the wrinkles out, but I feel like it kind of lose the tooth detail. Oh, okay, now I've got this mess. And with the silver spray paint, I forgot to use acetone to smooth out my fingerprints before the spray paint. So they were really obvious. You can't really see it in this footage because it's terrible, but trust me, it looked really bad. I used acetone on all of them and then sprayed them again and it was fine. But pain. Okay, so I'm still trying to find the best gold method. The gold leaf, while shiny, was just way too fiddly and I just couldn't apply it well enough for it to be an option. And then with the rub and buff, even after sealing with resin, I find that it tarnishes after a while. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. And sometimes I think it might be my application, but so I get these little weird lumps. And so when I was eyeing up how well the silver spray paint turned out, I was like, maybe gold spray paint will be as shiny as the silver spray paint. Okay, so it is another day. The gold spray paint, that didn't work. Let me show you. So this is my rub and buff, and the spray paint looks really green. I mean, it looks better on camera. I mean, look at this shine. The silver really is outdoing. I should have gotten the same type of spray paint that this one is, but I cheaped out, okay? I was lured in by it being £5, and I'm not gonna buy another spray paint. That'll be if I need to spray paint something again, gold, or recommend gold spray paints that are actually shiny. I know it's impossible to get like gold leaf level of shine, but you know, a bit shinier than what I currently have. All I ask. But we keep on going. I'm gonna reapply rub and buff to the ones I took the rub and buff off. I'll just be rubbing and buffing these forever. I didn't film reapplying it, but here's me adding the rub and buff to fill in those grey gaps on the gold leaf. Okay, finally the bit that I have been so excited for, and that's gluing in the gem. I've got this glue. It dries transparent so it doesn't fog up the gems. Oh no, is this glue dried? Oh, it's gone very yellow. Well, let's give it a try on this one. But I am concerned that this is gonna make my gems yellow. Yeah, it is kind of yellow. Nothing's really going right in this project. Maybe because it's cursed. But I do not recommend this. Wow, it was really good when I first bought it. Okay, well I've got a bit of Yoo-hoo glue, but that doesn't have a fancy little tip. I'm gonna have to use my sticks. I just need enough glue to hold it in until I use the resin. Oh, this glue just dries so quickly. I've got to be quick. I will be speed. I get to remove the masking we did. It's finally time for resin. And let's just try and get a thin coat. It's a lot of waiting. The resin, it took a long time. I had to do multiple layers on each tooth because it gets a bit streaky, the first layer. Each cure takes about 2 minutes. It went okay. Of my resin applications, I'm not that mad about it. I still have a long way to go, and you can see my janky curing setup. Maybe I need a bigger lamp or something because I'm just trying to have everything cure at the same time. But I also don't want to buy a new lamp. I feel like I need to like using resin more to deserve it. And then I used it to lock in the gems. I made sure not to go over the top of the gems, but went round the side. I'm trying not to fill in the crown of the tooth too much. But here they are. It took ages for the resin to just set a bit. This was definitely a journey. I feel like we've lost a bit of the detail. Here are my different earring bits, silver, courtesy of my mother's craft tool that I have inherited, and gold from mine. Onto the hook, and here we go. I kind of wish I had smaller jump rings, but this is what we've got. No, okay, oh my god, I thought that I had resin closed up the hole, but I hadn't. I did not orientate the eye hook properly. Let's just bend that forward. And then it's like it never happened. That's better. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so now I'm just gonna do the rest of these and I'll check back in with you after I've done that. We've done the earrings and now it is time to assemble the necklaces. I've got 2 different kinds of chain for the silver one. I'm not the biggest fan of the paperclip style charm necklace. In the end, I got this one. And then I got this one. The long chain bits are a lot smaller than you would get on like the paperclip ones. I could only find one version for the gold that hopefully won't tarnish in like 2 seconds, please. I think let's try it on this one. And then if I hate it, we'll just redo it. First, I must check if it's actually a good length. How do we like this length? I guess I could always shorten it. Yeah, that's cute. I like that. Oh yeah, I guess because we've got an even number, we don't really have a center. We would like the fang that way, or do we want it opposing each other? Oh, that's cute. And we just use one. That's one. Oh, or we have all of them like this. I like the one in the middle. And then that one can just go on the spare necklace. All right, shall we find the center? You can do it. Oh, cute. Oh, I need to get the sparkles showing the right way. I have a feeling that this chain might actually be too fragile for the charms. And in that case, we'll go back to the other one. Oh, what? No, it came out. Oh, because it's so thin. This might be too risky as a charm vessel. I think I've got to swap. I'm so sad that didn't work out. Okay, well that's done. I just tried it on, as you can see, and this is it at the full length. And I mean, I do think it should be shorter. So let me just take off this necklace and see what size I want it. Maybe this length. I'm pulling my hair, but I don't want to let go. No, I let go. All right, that's a cute length. I'm gonna cut this. Oh yeah, I didn't do a very good job at centralizing the silver one at the theoretical length. It's a bit off center by about that much. You know, it's fine. It's behind your neck. Maybe being a bit off center means that it won't do the like spinny thing that necklaces always do. Anyway, I'm not gonna redo it. I'll redo it if my friend finds it really annoying. I think it might be fine. It's time for the gold one. And I gotta pick my favorite teeth. I was saving this one as like a pendant one, but maybe I want that as the central tooth. I mean, that one is pretty cute. No, I'm gonna do all gold. I have an idea for maybe, 1 second. Okay, so I've got this pearl necklace. I was thinking, you know, pearls, teeth. Maybe that would look cute with some teeth charms on it. What do you think? I mean, it would be really cute if I did even more, but I don't have enough teeth for both. I wish I made more teeth, but we are where we are. Oh no, I do have got one more spare one. Maybe I'll do one up there. We'll see what I decide when it comes to reveal. So now they're all done, and I'll see you in the reveal. So that concludes making jewelry from my own teeth. And how do I think it turned out? Well, my favorites were the silver ones, particularly the ones with the gems. I really liked those. I also think these are my absolute favorites. But I'm a bit sad about that because it's technically not my teeth because I did split them. I'm a bit jealous. I'm jealous of my own creation. I don't know, I feel like it defeats the purpose of it being my tooth, but also it's a cool tooth jewelry anyway, so I guess it's not so bad. And I mean the gold jewelry. I had a whole quest of the rub and buff and then it wasn't gold enough. And then I tried out the gold leaf, but then that was too wrinkly. When I applied it, I just felt like if I made it all wrinkly, then it would take away the texture of the tooth. So I did just do rub and buff on all of them. And I still think they turned out pretty good. They fit with this ensemble. I'm quite happy with it, but I just wanted a brighter gold shine, and they're a bit more antique-y, which is fine. I am okay with it. The other thing is with covering them with resin, I wanted them to be really durable, but then I feel like that really took away the texture and detail of the tooth. They're all now a bit like the jelly bean version of what they used to be, like more rounded edges, and in general it's still good, but there's just a lot of loss of texture, particularly crown of the tooth is. I'm still happy with them. The dangly ones, they were really fun. I feel like they look more incognito tooth, and then you're like, bam, here's the crown of the tooth. I do really love this charm necklace. These are really fun too. I mean, again, they do just look more quintessential tooth than the ones that my actual teeth are. What kind of roots do you have? My partner had Medusa roots where all of them were like, ah. So that was like a crazy root time. He didn't get his tooth out in one go. There's no tooth to molt, but they looked really cool. And if you have Medusa roots and need those teeth out, I'm sorry. What was your favorite? And would you do this? I also completely understand that this is kind of weird, and thank you if you made it this far. I really appreciate it, because I know it's every person that I've talked about this to that isn't the friend that I'm giving them to has been really like, you're doing that? Really? I'm sure I'm in the minority of this being cool. But if you did like it, thank you and welcome to this strange little world. It's a fun time. If you enjoyed this video, maybe check out one of my other videos. And catch you in the next one. Bye.